Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. By the video title, you know what this video is about. How do you feel about the Steelers roster so far post free agency? I did a video like this a few days ago on Steelers Syndicate. I was grading on the moves we made. I had to do one of those. Well, here I'm going to do a video discussing how you feel about the roster. So let me know down below what you guys think about the roster, how confident you feel about the roster on a scale of 1 to 10. Let me know. In my opinion, I think that the roster is pretty solid, pretty good roster. The Steelers went out there and added, of course, Darius Slay. Adding him to the secondary is very good. I know he's a little older. Of course, he's 34 years old, a little older player, but he still shows you that he can still play at a good level. Having him on one side, JPJ on the other side, and you add Nichols as well, the one that used to play for the Jets, a solid secondary piece for the be a cornerback as well for us. Benny Bishop did a good job last year as an undrafted guy. Made a lot of big time plays when it was necessary. Of course, he had some moments where he got beat. Of course, being a rookie and being undrafted, still learning, but we did see a lot of positive from his play, especially playing in that slot position. So we add Darius Slay, who's an outside corner, Nichols, who can play outside as well, maybe mix some inside too as well. Corey Trice, who has a lot of potential as well, who is still there. You have him on the roster as well too, so the secondary look a little better like that. You add more depth because last year we did suffer some injuries. We've seen JPJ get injured, Corey Trice get injured, miss a lot of games. We see a lot of different guys get injured, and we had to rely on Sutton, who was not that good at cover corner, and Benny Bishop. He's cool when you put him in the slot and stuff, but he wasn't that good on the outside. We had to rely on them, and they didn't do a very good job, of course, in their stretches when he was injured from Dusty Jackson and JPJ got them injuries. Everybody kind of had injuries and started building up a little bit. But I think overall the Steelers' defense, they get a little better with that. Add some depth at the D-line position. They still need to draft some D-line pieces, of course. Maybe the first pick of the draft, second pick of the draft, but it's definitely got to be a top 2 pick. Draft a D-lineman or both picks. Like I've done a few times, I think the Steelers could go the approach of maybe D-lineman, then skill position, or D-lineman, skill position, D-lineman. Just add some pieces up front, some guys who are going to be holding up that front line. They added some depth so far. The one from the Patriots, Chris Okole. They added the one that played for Jaguars a little bit, another depth piece. And then they did add another offensive guard as well, like that, on the offensive side of things too. But overall, they got pretty solid up front like that. The O-line is already cool. The D-line, like I mentioned, Cam Hayward, Kevin Bennett, and all those different people we have up front are nice and stuff, but adding more depth to that would be good. And to the O-line depth, they probably add somebody maybe in the draft as well, a little later rounds, or let's say bring another free agent in or something. But overall, pretty solid. But the big move, of course, was DK Metcalf. Trading for DK Metcalf was absolutely very good. The Steelers been needing a receiver 2 for a long time. We've seen games and stretches where the Steelers didn't have anybody to rely on but George Pickens or a Pat Fryermuth, Najee Harris, those 3 guys. But you want to have more, of course, as pure receivers, guys on the outside who can open up much more for your team. Now you have DK Metcalf on one side, you have GP on the other side. It's going to open up so much more, not only for just your passing game, but for your running game as well. Because teams cannot load the box like they used to do when the Steelers only had one option because they wasn't afraid of Calvin Austin or Van Jefferson beating them consistently over time. So now you have DK Metcalf on one side, you have GP on one side. Teams gonna have to start saying, you know what, I can't double team on DK Metcalf and leave GP one-on-one. I can't do the same either like that. For some of these guys, so I gotta pick and choose certain things, and I can't overload the box where there's no safety help over the top of these guys either. So go open up so much more. We can run the football, you can attack the middle of the field and do different things, of course, especially with the O-line being fully healthy. Zach Frazier did a good job last year. Trevor Tyler was playing very good before his knee blew out. He's gonna be back next year. Buddy Jones may move back to his original spot to play left tackle as well. So I think overall the O-line will be pretty good and be playing well too as well. We should excel a lot, especially when we draft the young running back to bring in to pair with Jalen Warren and the Kenneth Gainwell as well, who's a nice signing too. So the Steelers overall did a pretty solid job, and they also brought in Mason Rudolph as well. So overall, I think the team is pretty solid right now. Pretty solid team. Let me know down below what you guys think about the team. I think the Steelers are probably, I'm gonna give them on a scale of 10 in the roster right now. I'm probably like a 6.8 in confidence in the roster. I still want to see exactly, of course, after the draft when we add those little pieces, those little few holes we have, add those pieces in and see how we look. But I think 6.87. I'm confident in the roster being a team that can definitely compete. I don't know about winning the Super Bowl, of course. It's very hard to win a Super Bowl in this league, but definitely compete and get us to a winning record, get us to the playoffs, and try to make a chance. And maybe overachieve. You never know what can happen. Sometimes you can overachieve. I know I've seen a lot of teams before, getting there and they overachieve. They made things happen and get things done. Look at the Commanders last year. Their team was not set and built to win all those games they won, but Jaden Daniels came in and changed a lot of things for them. You might can see that happening with one of the young quarterbacks in this draft class. The Steelers decided to bring one in or trade up for one. So Shedeur Sanders has been a talk around the Steelers world for a little bit. The people think the Steelers could get Shedeur Sanders. He might fall down. If he fall, like I mentioned before yesterday on the stream, if he fall back I think he fall down to I said 7. The Saints got the 7th pick, if I'm not mistaken. The Saints got the 7th pick, I think, if I'm not wrong. I think they had a 7th pick. But if he fall down to the 7th pick to the Saints, and he passed that, then it's free game for everybody. I think the Steelers would definitely be in on it because he could definitely pass further down. But I think most likely the Giants will draft him, or the Titans like that. They'd be foolish not to draft him. If they don't draft him, the Browns should draft him. They'd be foolish not to either. But the Browns are the Browns. They do crazy things and foolish things, of course, as well. So you never know what can happen, of course. But we'll see exactly what happens with everything, the NFL news and stuff. But overall, the Steelers roster is pretty solid. Pretty solid roster, pretty good roster, definitely compete with. I like that they went out there and added the pieces, like I mentioned the secondary pieces for depth, the D-line depth pieces as well. They're still missing the key piece up front who could be a big-time game changer. If I'm going to draft one of those guys and then add another running back in the draft, and I think you add another receiver, maybe the veteran receiver, or you draft one later rounds, and it'd be a nice little roster. A nice roster could definitely compete with anybody like that. So we'll see exactly what happens. Of course, even without the quarterback, sometimes the quarterback play just be good enough. Don't turn the ball over, just play well enough, good enough, you can still make some things happen. So we'll see what goes on and what happens, but it's all I have for today's video. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.